AB, how you doing?
I'm good, and you?
I'm pretty good. Welcome to the panel, my friend. Why why
Thank you.
why do Muslims dislike Paul? Why do you think?
Actually, I wanted to talk about something. I do a follow up about something. I joined your live last week,
Hmm.
and I said the Bible was corrupt, and you said the Quran, because you didn't want to talk about the Bible. You said the Quran, there was a verse like about the sucklings, the 10 sucklings,
Oh yeah.
the Hadith. Okay.
Uh,
So, and I said I'll do my homework, and I did it.
okay. So what you find?
So you said like the Quran, that verse was not included in the Quran and so on.
Hmm.
Okay, but
Right.
before I answer your question, do you know any verses that were added to the Quran?
That were added to the Quran?
Yes, to the Quran after like it was compiled.
Yes.
Yes, can you give me those?
Yeah. Well. Let me say not added. Let me say changed. How's that?
Changed.
I would say
Well,
changed.
I'll change. Then you have the proof, like the source and everything.
Yes.
Okay, how are they changed? Like, are they in our Quran now and they're changed
Yeah.
initially,
So
or?
so so what's in your Quran doesn't match what was in, like, let's say Ibn Masud's Quran, for example. Are you familiar with Ibn Masud?
No, I heard there's a copy of Ibn Masud, but what is the difference? Like, can you tell me the difference or the
Yeah,
verse, for example?
yeah, it's chapter 92, verse 3. So Ibn, let me just tell you who Ibn Masud is first, so you know why this
Well, I
is
know
important.
he was a companion of the Prophet. He had a
Mhm.
copy of the Quran. I heard this, but honestly, I don't know much about him. I
Yeah,
hope you won't cut me like
he's,
last week.
he's
I hope
among
you won't hang up on me.
he's among the four people that Muhammad said
Mhm.
you should learn the Quran from. He's
Yes, I
he's
know.
among the four people. Okay, so
Mhm.
that's why it's relevant. So um, let me go ahead and show you the difference here. So you have chapter 92, verse 3, I believe it
Okay,
is.
chapter. Just a moment. Chapter. Okay, Quran. Quran.
Yes.
92 and
92,
verse.
3.
Which
Verse
which verse?
verse 3.
3. Okay, just a second. So.
92, verse
Mhm,
3. And
mhm.
let's see.
So, and by the one who created male and female.
Yep, that's it.
Okay, and what?
Now, now Ibn Masud's verse Quran was different. It says something different.
Okay.
And they even say that the one that how you just read it in your Quran is actually the
Mhm.
wrong way to read it. It's actually wrong. Let me see. Let me just see if I could get the hadith up for you, and then I'll up by
The
he.
hadith or a verse, like the same verse.
I'm showing you the hadith that records Ibn Masud's Quran, what was
Okay.
in his Quran.
Mhm.
Okay. So by he who created created the male and female. Let's see. Yes, found it. All right. So let me go ahead and share our screens here. Okay. So we see here that this is the verse, guys, and by the one who created the male and the female. Right now, here's the hadith on the right, Sahih Bukhari.
Mhm.
It says, the companions of Abdullah bin Masud came to Abu Darda.
Mhm.
Um, he looked for them and found them. Then he asked them, who among you can recite the Quran as Abdullah recites it? Abdullah bin Masud.
Mhm.
They replied, all of us. He asked, who among you knows it by heart? They pointed out at Al-Qama. Then he asked Al-Qama, how did you hear Abdullah bin Masud reciting Surat al-Layl, right? The night, the one we're talking about.
Hmm.
Al-Qamar recited by the male and the female. Abu Adarda said, I testify that I heard me the prophet reciting it likewise. But these people want me to recite it, and by him who created male and female. But by Allah, I will not follow them. So Abu Darda is in line with Ibn Masud that
Hmm.
this is the wrong way that you see in the Quran. That's the wrong way. Muhammad didn't recite the verse like that. He recited the verse without that. It just says by the male and the female. That's how Muhammad
Okay. Okay. But let's admit, I don't know, but let's admit that that's true.
okay.
Does it really change a lot when I say, and by the one who created male and female, and by male and female? Like the God swears and says by God, because God swears in the Quran. It says he says, for example, by the earth, by the sun, and so on. So if
Mhm.
he says by the male and female, or he says by the one who created male and female, that's
Yeah.
not really a great difference. Do you
Well,
agree with that?
I would somewhat agree. I don't think that it completely changes the theme or the context completely. I do think that it's strange
Just
that
one word, like just a change of
well,
word instead of
well if
God
you don't
swearing by me, like the one who created the male
uh,
and female, or
yeah,
by the
you
one
have
who created.
you
So it's
have you
just
have one you have Allah who's swearing by himself, right?
mhm.
And by
Yeah.
he
It's
who created
in
the male.
both contexts. It's the in both versions. It's the same. Allah swearing by Himself. Just in
Well,
one, He says by the
no,
one
no,
who created the male and female, and
no. It's a no. In the one in your Quran, Allah is
mhm,
swearing by himself. He's saying by he who created, right? By the one who
mhm,
created the male and female, right?
mhm.
Um, while in the other one, Allah is swearing by the male and the female. He's not swearing by
Yes,
himself.
yes.
So
But
it's changing who
like I
Allah
said,
swore by.
yeah, who swearing by? Okay, but like I said, in other verses, Allah swears by the Fajr, by different things. Okay, by for example, the dawn, or the light. Well, I don't remember all
Yeah, but this
the
changes
verses,
what
but He
it
swears.
changes what
Okay,
Allah said. You get it? It
okay.
changes what Allah said. Like, so did he
He
say,
swears by.
yeah, did he say, and by he who created the male and female? Or did he just say,
Mhm.
and by the male and female? It changes what Allah
Yeah,
actually
exactly.
said,
Yes, you're right.
you know?
Yeah,
So
but
that's the problem.
like I said, this does not really change a big deal to like to the meaning of the verse, or the God is one, especially in this very short verse. Like there's not much. But when I come back to what you said last time, said this verse was was recited, and okay, if you
Yeah.
go to verse chapter 2, verse 106, can you check that?
Yeah. About abrogation.
Exactly.
hmm So he replaces a verse with something
With a better
better
one.
or something
Hmm.
similar.
Exactly.
All right. So then that would mean that there would have to be a verse in the Quran that
Yes,
is
certainly. There, we are not there. Like we don't know. We are not witnesses. What verse he put? I don't know personally which verse he sent instead of those which were abrogated. But
uh
he said it. I did send like other verses that were better, or at least equal to those.
right. Now let's break this down now because you're talking about abrogation. Can abrogation happen without Muhammad?
If God's wills, yeah. If God wills, yes. But
No, because that would mean that Allah is giving a revelation. When abrogation, he's revealing a substitutionary verse, right?
yes, one second, just one quick
Right.
second.
So
I'll
if
read that.
Muhammad's not
He
around,
says here. He says here. if we ever abrogate a verse or cause it to
To
be
be forgotten.
forgotten, we
Mhm.
replace it with a better or similar one.
Right. So
So
Muhammad has to be alive for a verse to be abrogated, correct?
where does it say that?
Well, we're just talking about him revealing it. He's saying that, you know, we don't cause a verse to be forgotten or whatever,
Yeah,
um,
he says
unless we replace it with one
if
similar
we
like.
abrogate a verse or cause it to be forgotten, but he didn't say we revealed it to Muhammad and then we changed it, or
Well, so
there's no
look,
mention of prophet
notice
there.
notice the implication of what you're saying. You're implying. So look, let me try to break it down simply. Um, Muhammad is the one who communicates the Quran to mankind, right? Because
Hmm.
Allah could uses Muhammad to do it through Gabriel. So
Hmm.
any verse of the Quran that is revealed through Muhammad, whether it's a
Hmm.
substitutionary verse or whatever, any type of
Okay,
verse, it's revealed
I
through
know.
Muhammad. Can
Hmm.
there be- is does a verse of the Quran get revealed through anyone else other than Muhammad?
No.
Okay. So then that would mean that if, let's say, Allah caused the verse to be forgotten, right, or erased,
Hmm.
He's always going to replace it with something better
Hmm.
or something similar. So something is being
Yes.
revealed that replaces the old verse,
Hmm.
which means that it's being revealed through Muhammad.
Hmm.
So without Muhammad, there cannot be abrogation, right? A substitution of verses because it's through Muhammad that Allah reveals the new verse.
Revealed the new verses to Muhammad, and
Mhm.
then those are he caused to forget or to keep aside. So nowhere in the Quran says like you have to change this is the verse we supply instead of the other verse. Nowhere it says in the Quran that. So when they compiled the Quran, they compiled all the verses according to Muslims, or like all the necessary the verses that God wanted to be in that Quran are
Wait,
in there, and
you mean to
all
tell
the
me?
others are abrogated.
Wait, hold on. So you mean to tell me that when they were compiling the Quran, there were some verses of the Quran that were left out because they weren't necessary?
No, what happened? The compilation of the Quran, they brought the ones who memorized it, and then they compared it with the Quran that was in with the one of the like Hafsa. So
Uh-huh.
then they took that and made copies. Don't when they checked,
Yeah,
it was
I know the story. So, but I'm
mhm.
just touching on something you said. Was there any Quran verse left out when they compiled the Quran?
This verse about the suckling, and that's all I know, and I learned it from
Got
you,
it.
honestly.
Got it.
So,
Okay.
and that was, I said, if God wanted it to be in the Quran, He wouldn't have left it out,
Wait. What do you mean?
because He said it in that verse. It says He says that when we
No.
can abrogate verses or make them forgotten.
Yeah, but my brother, again, abrogation Muhammad has to be there for abrogation. Without Muhammad, there is no abrogation. You get what I'm saying?
No, where does it say that?
I think that you've missed everything that I've said, my friend. You missed
No,
everything that
no,
I said. So let's work through it again. I'll try one more time. Does the Quran get revealed through anyone else other than Muhammad? Let
no.
me actually put the verse on the screen so everybody can see what we're talking about. Okay. So the answer is
Yes,
no, right?
no.
Okay. Whenever Allah causes a verse to be forgotten, what does he do?
Mhm. He reveals another one to Muhammad.
Boom. So
Hmm.
in order for something to be abrogated,
Hmm.
it always is followed up with a verse to Muhammad that replaces it. right?
Yes.
So if Muhammad is not alive, there is
Mhm.
no more abrogation because he's not
Okay.
alive to reveal the new substituted verse or similar verse.
Yes. And
Okay.
do you know when the Quran with Hafsa was written?
I don't know. That doesn't
It was
wait.
written in the lifetime of Muhammad.
Got it. No worries. Boom. All right. It's in the lifetime of Muhammad. Nice.
Mhm.
So this is my point. The verse about the sucklings
Mhm.
was revealed in the lifetime of Muhammad,
Mhm.
and then he died. Right. At first it was 10 sucklings, then it got abrogated, replaced with 5 sucklings.
Mhm.
Then Muhammad died.
But you have that copy of the Quran written in his life. If he wanted that verse to be in there, he
Mhm.
would have asked them to add it there, but he
Well,
didn't.
no. It was in the Quran already in his lifetime. He didn't have to ask about anything.
So you mean they erased it in Hafsa's copy?
Something happened. I don't even think
Mhm.
that you have Hafsa. This isn't Hafsa's copy that you're looking at. We don't have Hafsa's
Like,
copy.
sorry?
We don't have Hafsa's copy.
Yes. So can you prove the opposite?
What do you mean prove you opposite? I
I
the,
mean, you can't prove that it was in Hafsaz or it was not. Okay.
by the way, Hafsa's copy was not written in Muhammad's lifetime. By the
So, sorry,
way, Hafsa's copy was not written in Muhammad's lifetime.
it was.
It wasn't. It was Hafsa's copy was written after Muhammad died and Abu Bakr was the caliph.
Yes, but it was not written by him.
No, it wasn't written by him. So he had Zayd bin Thabit go and collect the Quran from other people, off of different parchments, manuscripts, skins, and all kinds of stuff. And then
Uh,
they compiled it, and that's what Hafsa's copy is.
no,
That's after Muhammad died.
actually, the copy with Hafsa was written in the lifetime of the Prophet. Actually,
No, it wasn't. What are you talking about? Look,
just a moment.
let me show
Just
you.
a moment. I'll check. Quran,
Uh,
Quran,
um,
Quran.
let's go ahead and duplicate this. And watch this, my friend. All right. All right. Narrated Zayd bin Thabit al Ansari, who was one of those who used to write the divine revelation. You paying attention, brother?
Yes.
Okay, so it's about to give us a little history. The first time the Quran was compiled. Look, it says Abu Bakr sent for me. This is Zayd bin Thabit. He's talking. Abu Bakr sent for me after the heavy casualties among the warriors of the Battle of Yamama, where a great number of Qurra were killed. Those are people who memorize the Quran.
Mhm.
So Umar was present with Abu Bakr, who said, Umar has come to me and said the people have suffered heavy casualties on the day of Yamama. And I am afraid that there will be more casualties among the Qurra, those who know the Quran by heart, at other battlefields, whereby a large part of the Quran may be lost, unless you collect it. And I am of the opinion that you should collect the Quran. Now, all of this is after Muhammad has already passed, right? Now Abu Bakr is the caliph, right? You with me so far?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Can you read the
Uh,
following?
hold on, you sound a little. Your mic sounds distorted, my friend.
Sorry, yeah. Is that the end?
Say that again.
Is that the end of the hadith?
No, no, it's continuing. It's continuing. And Abu Bakr added, I said to Umar, how can I do something which Allah's apostle has not done? So in Muhammad's lifetime, the Quran was not compiled yet, right? He never did this. Umar said to me, by Allah, it is a good thing. So Umar kept pressing. trying to persuade me to accept his proposal, till Allah opened my bosom for it, and I had the same opinion as Umar. So Umar was sitting with him, Abu Bakr, and was not speaking to me. So you are a wise young man, and we do not suspect you, right, of telling lies. And you used to write the divine inspiration for Allah's apostle. Therefore, look for the Quran and collect it. By Allah, if he, Abu Bakr, had ordered me to shift one of the mountains, it would not have been harder for me than what he had ordered me concerning the collection of the Quran. He's saying this is so difficult that it'd be easier to move a mountain than to collect the Quran. Right? But he continues, I said to them both, how dare you? This is Zayd bin Thabit's response to Abu Bakr and Umar. How dare you do a thing which the Prophet has not done? Abu Bakr said, by Allah, it's a good thing. So I kept arguing with them until Allah opened my heart, until he agreed.
Okay.
Right? So I started locating Quranic material and collecting it from parchments, scapula, leaf stalks, date palms, and from the memories of men who know it by heart. I found with this guy, Kuza, I'm going to just call him Kuza, 2 verses of Surah Toba, which I had not found with anyone else. And he quotes the verse. Okay. The manuscript on which the Quran was collected remained with Abu Bakr till Allah took him unto him.
Okay.
And then with Umar till Allah took him unto him. And finally, it remained with Hafsa, Umar's daughter.
Okay, I grant you that. So it was collected after the death of Muhammad, but where did they collect it? They collected it from parchment that were written in his in the lifetime of Muhammad. And the people who learned the Quran too, like in the lifetime of Muhammad. And like I said, since God says there, Allah says in verse 106, we abrogated. So those who the verses which were left out are the verses like Allah wanted to be left out. Even if it wasn't Muhammad passed away at that time, but they gathered the parchments of the people who wrote it during his lifetime.
So that's not abrogation then, because remember, abrogation is when Allah replaces a verse.
Yes, he replaces them, but
the verse wasn't replaced; it's just gone.
No, the revelation, the abrogation, and the replacement all happened in Muhammad's time, and the writing happened in Muhammad's time, and then this compilation happened in shortly after he died.
No, because this says that the 5 sucklings was in the Quran, right? And then Muhammad died. So it was there in the Quran in Muhammad's time. So for it to be abrogated or taken out after would mean that somebody tampered with the Quran who's not Muhammad.
No, but when the verse was revealed, the Prophet would read it and recite it with other people. And then if God wanted it to be abrogated, he sent something, he caused it to be forgotten or something.
I have to cut you out because then I'm gonna have to just probably move on because it seems like we're at
okay. Just one last problem.
I was asking the question.
Okay, just one last
verse. Was the verse of the 5 sucklings in the Quran before Muhammad died or after?
Before.
Okay, so then Muhammad died. Okay, so can an abrogation happen if Muhammad is dead?
If Allah wills, yes. But
so then, who will be the prophet that's revealing the new verse, the abrogation?
No, they just compiled. They didn't add verses. They just compiled what existed in Muhammad's lifetime.
All right, thank you.